the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and Krissy Vann. That's me. And we're taking you on a little off-roading.
And every single week, we're going to be joined by our dope friend, Richelle from True Grit Moto.
Woo! Hey, I floss.
And every week, we are going to ask each other stupid questions, and we're going to answer them. And why, you may ask? Because we can. All right, this is your Motovation
Off-road edition.
Whose turn is it? Is it
Richelle?
I think it's me. Okay. My questions are always so ridiculous.
That's why I love them.
Have you ever left something on the roof of your vehicle and drove away? Like a baby.
Yeah. Children in my care. Yeah. My lunch was the biggest one. That was a very heartbreaking moment because, you're excited for it. And then I drove away and then went to grab it and was like, where does come on. Because all of a sudden you visualize it on the hood of the car.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick. I got to tell you about a story that just happened, not the hood on the car, but where like the moment someone's like pointing, like you're, look, and you're driving along. So I was on the motorbike. It was raining out. This was when I was on the way to Saskatchewan, and I'm in Jasper. And this person's like doing the point thing. And I'm like, oh man, what is it? I get off my bike and I'm looking and I'm like, where's my bag? And I'm like, the bag fell off. And oh man, it's way back there. No, it was so much worse, you guys. The bag was still on, but it was attached to the bike and it come off and it had been dragging against my back tire for like 20 minutes. And the reason I say 20 minutes is because it was Dave's bike I was on. I was like, this bike is really wobbly all of a sudden. And I thought it was just like because of the rain and the wind. And it's not my bike, so I don't really know it. And then a semi pulled up and the bag was just shredded. And so all the plastic had melted onto the tire and we still had and Dave was in the car way back and I was in the rain by myself with a shredded bag and the semi pulled over. He's like, I was trying to flash my lights. But as soon as you see someone do that point of like, hey, there's something on here, you're like, oh no.
That's immediate, a brutal one.
Is this why I'm doing a rear tire on this thing?
Reasons. Yeah, we had to scrape it off the file, do burnouts and shit. Cause it was like, we still had like 8 hours of riding to do on it. But yeah, that's one of the reasons we need a new tire. It was already starting to go.
Shit.
There goes my dignity.
There goes my dignity.
So I've never left anything on the roof, but I did have, when you get in the car and then you see a little slip of paper and you go, oh, fuck, I got a parking ticket, but you were already on and like ready to go. So that happened to me after a work shoot and I get up very early sometimes. So my brain was not quite all aboard in the situation. So I was like, because I hate when something's in the way of your visual. And I was in this stupid dorky work van. So the way the seating is, I'm already really low. So I'm like, I need to get rid of this thing. Word of advice, put the car back in park before you hop out. I literally had the swing arm down and like one leg out, other foot comes off the gas and immediately this van starts rolling backwards. I was in a UBC parking lot. And then I'm just like, no, like the awkward shuffle run and managed to hop in and hit the brake. I'm pretty sure my crotch is still stretched, like trying to do the leg reach to get it. And then finally got my parking ticket, which was like $80 too. It was an atrocious number for a parking ticket because it was one of those private lots that was
they get you.
We got you.
Yeah.
So
me too, sister.
Put your car in park if you notice something that's there.
Ticket right there.
You cannot see she's holding up a parking ticket.
Well done, friends.
I love it. I'm not paying it.
Screwed them. My girlfriend just said to me, she'll be listening to this episode. So, hey, Krista, she was literally like, oh yeah, it's crazy. I got 5 speeding tickets in like the past, I think she said like 2 months. And I was
no.
And we're just like, why ain't you using cruise control? Why? And the best part is she's so funny. She's just like, Richelle, you guys are really similar in your personalities. And she's like, yeah, I tried to pass off one of the last ones where he pulled me over. I was like, it just seems like the car wants to go faster for some reason. Do you think she had she's a personal trainer. She had a bunch of weights and like the pass on the ground. And she was like, do you think maybe because it's like the weights in the front? And he was like,
Momentum.
He was just like, I'm going to go get your ticket and I'll be right back. She's like, that's fair. Okie dokie. But it was like 5 tickets. 5
That's a
tickets.
lot.
That's
Yeah,
a lot.
that's a lot.
She's like, I have like $700 worth of tickets.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I've never had a speeding ticket in my life.
Ooh,
I've never had a
I
ticket.
have.
Oh my
I've
God.
been pulled over
What?
once. And I got out of it when I was pulled over.
That never happens to me. They're always like, I'm going to give you 2 just for being you. I'm like, oh man, I can't. We got to do this.
Yeah, honestly.
The thing I've lost so many things on the roof, but my most heartbreaking one was I was in Arizona on my way to Sedona, and I had taken my Converse shoes off at the Pogo Rock in Arizona to just like put my sandals on, and I put the shoes that I always travel with. So they had like, lots of sole on that sole. And I took off. And then when we got to Sedona, I was like, where's my shoes? And then I was like, oh.
Those, especially when you love that shit. Like that's also the thing, like where you can replace it, but you can't really replace it.
No.
Those are hard ones.
Yeah, that was the worst. They were like a short top Converse with my most comfortable socks stuffed inside of them. And I was like, somebody's going to get those shoes and be super hyped.
Well, I better pack up. I got a long drive back to pick them up.
You know what I did though? I went to the nearest store that like on the way back, and it was like some American shoe store. And I got another pair of Converse. They're still here, brand new, the exact same ones. And I'm like, not the same. I've never worn them. I'm like, I'm over these things. I suck.
I remember being in New Jersey, and we stopped at this, we were doing this martial arts thing at the time, and we had stopped at this gym to shower, and I had this like plaid shirt wrapped around my waist, and I had, for whatever reason, I left it on the chair. We start leaving where we were. I realized I've left it there, but we're already half hour in town. So I called the gym, and the gal that answered, I'm explaining it like, hey, I left my shirt there on the chair. Can you go grab it or go check? And you could tell she just did not care, did not want to. And she's like, yeah, it's not here. And I was like, yeah, could you just go check though real quick? And she was like, yeah, I did. I was like, yeah, but you haven't left the phone. You haven't left the phone with me yet. I'm kind of laughing, but like still trying to be pleasant enough. And she's like, yeah, I can see from here. And I know she can't because I know where the till is.
Asshole fine.
Yeah. And I was just,
asshole fine.
I was just, yeah. I was like, yeah, you're not going to look, are you? Like just,
that was
I knew it was a goner. Yeah. I did look. She says, okay, well, thank you so much. Guys, you Americans are real great. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Out. Yeah. Okay.
Laurie, you're cute.
I was going to say, I think we got
Speed round.
When you were a kid, what's something that your parents had you wear that you hated to wear?
That was my question.
Oh yeah, that's your question. We got to do this over. That's not my question.
Way to go.
Hold on. Whoa, way to fucking pirate that question, Kingwell. Mine is
foreshadowing.
What's an unfortunate story around getting your period when I guess any time in your life? We haven't hit menopause, so really it's open-ended.
Worst.
What's one of your worst?
When you first got it, or just in
whenever?
general, like
what's
life?
one of your like moments that where you're just like, this was a terrible outcome of me having my period.
But every time, I feel like every time it sucks. I'm always like, oh God, now they've come up with the Diva Cup and you just got to like figure it out now. Yeah. And there's never a washroom where you can just walk out and wash it. You got to like, I don't know, raw dog it, spit on it, hope for the best. Like what the hell? Whose idea was that? They should make you carry a pump with it or a water bottle. It should come with a warning sign. If you're going to use this, it will flood in a washroom that is public.
Some people like swear by them and I just don't understand how they work. And just to be clear, for any of you that are listening to this episode and you're just like, oh, gross, they're talking about periods. Number one, grow up. Number two, they help us be superhuman and create humans. So if you were uncomfortable with our magical power, the things that comes out of our crotch, grow up. That's what I want to say. Grow up, put your big adult pants on and listen and have a laugh.
I mean, tampons aren't good either. You always hear about models losing legs and stuff. So,
Well,
I mean,
it happened. I got to Google this.
Yeah, you never heard about that?
No.
This model, I don't know where, in America, maybe the UK, was doing her modeling thing and had her tampon in for too long. And so she got toxic shock and like they ended up having to amputate her leg.
And that is why there's a warning label.
Oh, I left mine in weight. When I used to use them, I would forget them all the time.
You'd double up.
You know what? Good thing I didn't lose a toe. But also, you know what? Could have sent it off, made some money. So it's always a silver lining if you look hard enough. Shots. Laurie.
I don't have any like bad. I've really lucked out. I mean, I've had it where I'm wearing light pants and I'm live, but nothing's gone too awry. But I feel like the first time I got it, I wanted it so bad because the girls at my school had a club. And I didn't know what the club was, but then you kind of knew, but then you didn't get to belong and hang out under the tree until it happened. But then when it did, I just remember pulling out my supplies and bless my mom's heart, but I don't know why. We had like a boat as a pad. It was so
right, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like, a traditional canoe that went in your underwear.
Everyone being like,
belly button to the
that? Yes. What is that? Like, let's just confirm nothing at least is gonna leak out of that thing because it was the size of the country. But,
right. It was one of those things where it's like, hey, remember when you used to wear a diaper? Guess what? You get to do it again. You get to do it again. And when you would walk and it would make that crunchy noise. And you would just like pray that like, okay, you know what? Keep it down there. Right. Because it's good. You could like,
you'd walk bow-legged out.
Oh, yeah.
So then I was like an insecure member of the club.
Wow. I can't believe you guys don't have these like outrageous stories. I had to actually choose from my outrageous stories. One of them I think is a little too outrageous that I'll think about it. That might be a share down the road, especially after I shared my poop towel story earlier. If someone hasn't heard that episode and that comment right there just gets slipped in, they're going to be like, poop towel? What does she mean? Poop towel. Mm-hmm. She pooped on a towel? What does she do?
She poops at the potties?
Yeah. Does she wipe with towels? What does she do?
She's a potty pooper?
But I think so. One of my like more medium, embarrassing stories of the old Aunt Flo. I was working at wholesale and I got a heavy old Flo when it would come in, and it came in too quick for me to catch, and I didn't have tampons, I don't think, or pads or anything. Long story short, it was like covered my jeans, and I had to work, and I had called someone, been like, you need to come let me off. And it was like a Saturday, so everyone was coming in to get their photos developed for that 1 hour photo. And I had to keep I remember I was wearing silver jeans, and I had like, and I had to waddle to get people's photos and like waddle to keep my legs together as much as I could. Because if I took strides, they would have saw. And I was waddling around this bloody photo lab. They were light colored silver jeans with a slight flare. I remember it so clearly. And then
I know these jeans.
Oh, they finally came and got me, and I ripped home, switched my pants, came back to work, finished the day like a champ. But it was just one of those things where you're like, come on, fuck, are you gotta be kidding me? Like, it's awkward enough being a teenager. And
it's the worst.
You're like publicly, literally and just having to like nowhere to go, nothing to do. Yeah.
Especially that age. Like now, if it happened, I'd be like, oh, like not ideal, but I feel like you can handle it and be like, well, this got fucking wild. Whereas then you're like, laughing. Oh dear God. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. It was like made for great stories afterwards, but at the time I wasn't giggling.
No, nobody does. It's horrible. It sucks.
Nobody does.
Okay. Last question.
Richelle.
Me?
Yeah. Winner, chicken dinner.
All right. When you already put my question out there, so now everybody knows.
No, we're going to edit that
out. When you were a child, did you ever hate something your parents made you wear? I know you guys have it for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I got a great story for this one.
Love it.
Okay.
Take it away.
How I actually came to understand this story fully was there was a family photo downstairs in our living room, and I'd never really paid attention to it. But then all of a sudden I looked at it as a teenager and I was like, what the hell? My whole family was in nice black and white attire. And then I had on like purple MC Hammer pants kind of thing. And then this neon orange and pink vest that was like splash painted kind of thing. And then this like white shirt. And I'm like posing like I'm killing the game. And I was like, why would I wear that? Or like, why would they let me wear that? So I go to my mom she's like, I've been waiting years for this moment. She's like, I had the most beautiful dress picked out. You absolutely refused. And I do remember this about myself as a child. If I refused to wear something, you were not getting it on me. And if I demanded I was going to wear something, I was going to wear it. Like I would wear a skating skirt to school and stuff like that. And then I was like, I'm kind of naked. This is awkward. I should have listened to my mom. But this outfit, she had this super, nice, fancy black dress. I think it had white polka dots on it. I remember that one, but that I refused. And so she was like, fine. And I was like, I want to wear this outfit. This is the outfit I feel good in. So the family is in this. We'll have to put it, maybe track it down and put it up on the.
Definitely.
We gotta find all our pictures.
Right. But it was
gonna be so good.
It's just so funny because it just couldn't be more opposite to what my family's wearing. And
I love that it's commemorated now forever.
Yeah,
forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I feel like my mom listens to these podcasts and then it makes her sad when I say stuff like this. But like, I never really had the cool things. Or if I did, it would always be way later when it was heavily discounted and on sale. So
you get your frugalness from.
Right. Most things would come from Walmart. And I remember like trying to find cool sneakers as a kid at Walmart. Mm-hmm. It's just not as easy when all the other kids are like, look at my Reebok pumps and my Nike this. My and Adidas. The other bad part is that my mom would always be like, this is good for you. And in Sneakerland, what's good for you is Dr. Scholl.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So I remember sitting there as a kid and she's like, but they're good for your feet and da-da-da. And so I had a pair of classic white Dr. Scholl's. To be truthful, it's like walking on a cloud, my friends. Like,
I bet it is. And you're probably thankful now that you're older.
I was like, man, the spring in my arches, let me tell you.
I remember
pep in my step.
Kids like you guys at school. And I was always like, why are they wearing hospital shoes? They were wearing hospital nursing shoes and they're 10. Why are they? Like, I remember having that thought of like, those are for ladies that work in the hospital.
It's crazy because I literally remember sitting on the shoe bench, just being like, oh gosh, here we go.
I do not want to be here.
You were ahead of the fashion trend.
You were.
Was.
Yeah. I wear those hospital
2021, here I am.
Which is why you ended up selling Crocs. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's not an upgrade.
I think my worst one, I don't remember hating it, but I knew I would have. My mom there's a picture of me and my mom sitting together, classic.
Right.
And she had made me this dress that was floral print and it went straight out from my neck. Straight out. And then at my neck was like a raptor white, like clown thing that went around my
neck. A doily. It's like a doily.
It's a doily. And then the dress was below. And the picture, my mom looks great. I look good. I wasn't happy about it.
You gotta always try to put me in dresses. Because we can track 100%. Down these photos. There was my mom was a sewer. She'd always sew our clothes and she would always make these elaborate dresses for the Christmas party. And then the following year I would wear them for my school photos. And she kept all these dresses. And about 5 years ago, I went and put on all these dresses. So this is like ones I wore and like some of them I even got the zipper up on, but also,
oh my God,
but I'm wearing all of these dresses that I would wear when I was like taffeta, satin. There's
Yes.
this velvet one that presses
Love
my
it.
boobs down so hard and I don't have boobs to like even sag, but they press down so hard. They're like pancakes through this velvet. And it's got the doily lace around the collar with a little bell.
I love it.
I'll send you the photos. They're great.
It's like a gremlin bell for the neck.
Oh, absolutely. Or I put on my flower girl dress when I was 4 years old. Now, to be fair, this one's like stretchy. Sent it to my auntie. I was just like, hey, happy anniversary.
I love it.
Can we have a bonus question quick?
Yeah.
I just thought of, and then we can piece out. What's one of like the weirdest makeout kisses you've ever had?
The weirdest makeout?
Yeah, like made out with someone. You're like, that was weird.
This.
No way.
I swear to God, I was just talking about this the other day to Cav, and he was like, you ruined that man's life. I won't say the name because I've actually ran into him on Vancouver Island. And keep in mind, this is somebody from like grade 6 out front of an Avondale, which is our version of a convenience store. We just all call them Avondales, Niagara. But it was I was 12 years old and we kissed in front of the convenience store. And I remember it was like a guppy, like a fish just being like chomp, chomp, chomp.
Oh,
and so then I made the mistake of telling my little friends after being like, I kissed her. And it was like a guppy. And then that went around and that's not great. So I didn't mean to ruin his life, but I ran into him by complete wild circumstance, doing really well. Ironically,
so
fishes a lot, which I'm like, is there a connection? I'm not sure.
He's recovered.
Yeah.
Oh, I one time had this older lady treat me to a wild weekend. Wasn't my favorite. And I was trying to recoup in the shower. And I had a little bit of soap in my eyes because I'd washed my face, and she had secretly joined me in the shower and then started licking my face. And I was so uncomfortable.
Oh,
I was like, my eyes
with the visuals.
Closed. My eyes were closed because I had soap in my face, and she was trying to kiss me and make out with me. And I was like, just was like, okay, this is happening. Just let it happen. Let's just do this. Let's do it. Let's get in there. Don't puss out.
We're so trained to just be like, God forbid we make them uncomfortable. Let's just let the sexual assault take place. Let's just like,
and so I was like,
gross.
She was
don't
like,
touch me.
And she was like, yoga at 7. And I was like, okay. I'm just gonna finish up in here. worst makeout of my life. You? I don't want to say.
Okay. So you were young. You're young. She was predatory for sure.
It was a time.
Oof. I would have
like at any time or age. That's like I don't want someone licking my face. It's not my thing.
Oh,
or I'm like,
soap in my eye.
Really
like
gets me.
There's no.
I didn't. And the worst part was I had no idea she was in there. You know what I mean?
Oh, I just dropped my.
Just suddenly, just the tongue on your face, like
God.
Yeah, and I was like, no, what's happening? Can't open my eyes. Just sort it out. Yeah, it was like a horror film.
Oh, that is like a horror film.
Yeah.
You've lived
Laurie,
some lives,
you did ask
Richelle.
She's gonna know who she is. If
she knows, yeah. Check your behavior. You have an apology to make. Yeah, you have a public apology to make, ma'am. Mine was my first kiss. I think for sure, if I'm remembering correctly. I remember that kiss correctly, but it was so built up, right? We were at a hockey game. Everyone was like on the intermission. You walk to the same thing, convenience store, and you walk back, and everyone was like, "Are you going to make out with him? He wants to make out with you." And we're like walking around the aisles. I was like, "I think so." Oh my God, yeah, okay, I think so. And like, I barely knew this little guy. He was like a couple of years older than me, or 1 year older. He went to the high school. I was only in junior high, and all of a sudden, we're all like hanging out behind there. So a school right beside the rink. And it's like nighttime and stuff. And all of a sudden he's like, "Do you want to go for a walk?" And I knew what that meant. And I was like, okay. And then we go to the side of the school and we literally so awkwardly both took like out our gum, dropped it on the ground, and then like went for the
It
kiss.
was like out of a movie.
Oh, it was so
Right.
awkward and bizarre. And then all of a sudden he just was rapidly like tongue in, tongue out, tongue in, tongue out, tongue in, tongue out. Like it was this like back and forth between our tongues. And I was like, this is what all the hype's about. And then I remember, and then we were like, done. It was very like maybe 30 seconds. And then we went back into the rink. And I remember standing at the rink watching the game. And I was like, I want to puke. I just want to go home and puke. I'm so ill. I just want to puke. And
Oh my God.
yeah. And we're standing together. And then the next day I broke up with him, but made the mistake of doing that thing where you like talk about it with your friends. And then the friends told, and then him and his buddy like called me and like threatened me. Quite literally threatened me. And like, oh yeah, it was messed up. Yeah. And then I was scared to actually go to that high school a little bit because I was like, are they going to like do something or approach? Yeah. Our town's super aggressive. And anyone that's listening that's from our town that's like, we get such a bad rap. We're not that. Yes, we are. And it's an intense town. And the vibe there was really intense growing up. Amazing place in a lot of ways. But like, that wasn't that crazy for like boys to like be super aggressive towards you. And that was like not, and everyone wasn't like, what did he do? They were like, well, you deserved it. You said he was a bad kisser.
No.
Him and his buddy should have called and, told you that if you said that one more time, they're going to blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That was my first kiss, guys. That was my
That's
introduction
terrible.
to sexuality. Yeah. Was like, I want to puke. What the hell is this? And then getting threatened.
I'll take the guppy any day.
Right?
You just went off-roading with the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and myself, Krissy Vann.
And of course, a special thank you to Richelle from True Get Moto.
Whoop, lost it.
Never miss an episode by hitting like or subscribe. Connect with us on Instagram at Motovation Podcast and visit our website at themotovation.com. And in the meantime, full tanks, full throttle.
I think this is good though. It's like healthy, like people will be like, oh my God, I don't floss.
Oh, it's gonna be so hard not to laugh to get through this intro.